Welcome back to the Student Pilot Cast, Episode 25, Across the Hills, Part 2. In this episode, we'll finish my long dual cross-country, continuing from just after landing in Prescott. We still had to head over to Sedona, and then after a little breakfast, head on back to Chandler. Join me for that flight.
Chandler Tower, Cherokee 4121 Tango's at Chandler Air Service. We have Zulu, and we'd like a south departure, please.
Does it take to be an angel? Where does the sun go when it sleeps?
Okay, SPC listeners, to bring you back up to speed, we just had an action-packed approach into the Prescott area with what seemed like 1,000 other airplanes buzzing around like bees on a spring day. We were taxiing back for our departure towards Sedona, which is only about 30 or so nautical miles to the northeast. Before I start, I wanted to make one observation. I was speaking with David of the Pilot's Flight Podlog a few days ago, and I actually mentioned to him one of the things that's been bothering me about producing my podcast recently. And that is that as I listen to myself in these recordings, I cringe sometimes at my phraseology on the radio. As I sit here producing this episode, I have now had my private pilot certificate for almost 11 months and have well over 100 hours of flight time and some great cross countries under my belt. I'm still extremely wet behind the ears, and I learn something every time I'm in the cockpit, but I sure know a lot more now than I did when I was flying in these lessons. I sometimes hear what I said, and I literally cringe at my lack of consistency and efficiency, especially when I say altitudes. It's not that I don't want anyone to know I make mistakes. I unquestionably did, and I most certainly still do. And I'm happy to share them all with you. How else would we all learn together? I guess what bothers me is that some of these mistakes or inconsistencies I've now corrected, and hearing them is like fingernails on a chalkboard, whether it's coming from me or someone else. The point I'm making is that as you listen to these episodes, please keep in mind that I'm a student pilot, and if something doesn't sound quite right, it probably isn't. So take the opportunity to learn from me. Just don't learn from me by emulating these mistakes. Do your research, figure out where I went wrong, and don't forget to let me know too. We'll all learn from it. And for those of you who are seasoned pilots, I apologize for the scraping sound of my metaphorical fingernails on the chalkboard. I know how you feel. Now, if there's any traffic in the area, please advise. Just kidding. Okay, let's get going again. We already had the ATIS from the landing, and we're already on ground control as instructed by the tower controller before. So we headed the short distance on taxiway Alpha back to the run-up area at the approach end of runway 21 right, on which we had just landed. So we got ready to go, leaned it for the density altitude, which was somewhere north of 7,000 feet, and wanted to let the tower know. Unfortunately, the frequency was still jammed with traffic, so we waited to try to get a word in. Once we did, though, we got an immediate clearance. Now, we were taking off from runway 21 right, so basically south on the westmost runway, but we needed to go to the northeast. This would usually call for maybe a right downwind departure, possibly on the left, but probably a right downwind departure, and then a climb out of the airport area and across the approach path, when it was clear, to head to the east a bit. Well, we'll see how that works out.
Okay, what we'll do down here in the end is get your that portion of the flight plan. I don't know what your initial heading is going to be. We're going to be heading really towards that.
Yeah, we're going to want a downwind departure, basically.
Right, and then we'll intercept that Victor 16. So we're going to have to put Drake on here, which is that Drake 114?
Yes.
And what was the...
let me hold short here and I'll get it.
Yeah, I'll just stop right here and let you do this first rather than fuck your while you're taxiing. Okay.
Okay.
We'll do it. There you go.
I have... All right, so we're going to intercept it.
What was the radial off?
46, and the radial is 114. I'm sorry, 061 from.
061. So let's put it on 061. We've got Drake on here. Okay, that's all set. In the heading, we're going to just do a downwind departure and intercept that. Also, we'll be using pilotage. Now, really, all we have to do now, you've got it on the tower. Let's just do a full run-up and lean it for takeoff.
Okay.
We got the tower on, so...
Cessna 906, thank you for exchange. Approved. Contact Albert Center 128.45. If they're unable to oblige the approach, contact Tower 125.3.
We're going to head really towards those hills out there. So, and we landed at about 10 o'clock.
Exchange approved.
Exchange approved. 60 Papa, we'll talk to you in a minute.
Everybody will leave now that we're...
Cessna 2628, Quebec, Prescott, yep.
What a zoo.
We have Troy, Quebec, we're with you.
Cessna 28 Quebec, say altitude as show traffic might be ahead to your left, 7,100 Cessna northeast, correction, northwest.
My gum here.
Troy, Quebec, traffic inside.
Cessna 28 Quebec, Roger, squawk 5364, say altitude.
Altitude 5364, and we're descending out of 7,200.
And what altitude are we going to go to there? Probably 7,500 ourselves, so.
Prescott Tower, Cherokee 4122 Tango's at 21 right, ready to go, would like a downwind departure.
Cherokee 4122 Tango, Prescott Tower, fly runway, heading runway 21 right, cleared for takeoff.
21 right, clear for takeoff, fly runway heading Cherokee 22 Tango.
Wind 18010, gust 17.
Now is where you're going to feel a gradual climb. You just accelerate to 60 or better, and then you just pull back gradually. You're going to see your climb rates a little slower. We probably didn't talk about what altitude we're going to go on this leg, but I'm
7,500.
7,500, yeah. 74, runway 21 right, clear to land.
Just got to be a little more patient at these altitude airports. It doesn't accelerate quite as fast. See, it looks like it's going slow.
City inbound.
Have a wind from the left, so you might hold a little left aileron. Just it'll help you maintain that center line, put a little pressure on that upwind wheel. Finally at 50.
We're almost there.
28 Quebec, traffic ahead and to your right, low, Seminole.
More runway.
Wing up right base.
And you'll see that you'll have a slower climb rate, so you just got to keep that nose down a little bit. Even though you
28 Quebec, continue on downwind tower, we'll call
and you won't climb as fast, but keep that airspeed where it should be. You'll just climb it slower. You don't want to just pull.
Right.
Cessna 49er Quebec, report Drake inbound, maintain out above 6,500.
At above 65, report Drake, 49 Quebec.
Let me interrupt here briefly. This takeoff was interesting. It was getting hot in the Phoenix Valley, but I had never experienced density altitude like this before. For the non-pilot listeners, let me explain briefly. Airplanes, both the wings and the naturally aspirated piston engines, perform better in air that's more dense than they do in air that's less dense. Air is more dense when you're closer to sea level, and air is also more dense when it's colder. So standard density for airplane performance charts are based on sea level and 15 degrees Celsius or about 59 degrees Fahrenheit. If it's any hotter than that or any higher than that, the wings and the engine don't perform as well. Think of it as less air for the same volume is flowing over the wings or entering the engine to help with combustion. What this means is slower acceleration, slower climb rates, and longer takeoff rolls. Or in other words, using more runway and taking longer to get to a given altitude off the ground. That said, this was a pretty warm day in Prescott, 30 degrees Celsius to be exact, which translates to about 86 degrees Fahrenheit, and Prescott is more than 5,000 feet in altitude. That makes for a high-density altitude and a lower-performing plane off the ground than I had ever experienced. Lary had prepped me for this, and of course I knew this cerebrally from my studies, but to experience it was something completely different. It seemed that you almost had to will the airplane into the air. Everything seemed to take forever, and relative to the ground, everything seemed faster. This happens because the indicated airspeed in the airplane is basically naturally compensating for the difference in density altitude. If the airplane rotates or lifts off the ground at 60 knots, it'll lift off at that airspeed or that indicated airspeed at sea level or at 10,000 feet. The difference will be that at 10,000 feet, the ground will be moving under the airplane much faster when it lifts off because of the thinner atmosphere, but the airspeed indicator will still show 60 knots. For a pilot, this probably seems intuitive. For anyone else, you probably don't care. So I'll suffice to say that this was a takeoff roll unlike any I had ever experienced to date. And this was excellent, if not absolutely necessary, preparation for my future flying adventures out here in the West. Now back to the flight.
Yeah, suddenly it got windy up here. I had the terminal forecast there before you got here this morning. It was saying calm, zero wind.
Well, they were wrong.
Yeah, and that's why we plan these. You like to get off as early as you can just to kind of help with the winds a little bit.
Cessna 28 Quebec, rocker wings.
Stay on the setting. Hopefully she'll turn us around here eventually.
28 Quebec is a beam the numbers for 21 right.
Cessna 28 Quebec,
yeah, we should have switched the fuel tanks too, so that's my fault.
I did.
Oh, good man. Excellent.
Traffic now in sight, 28 Quebec.
Cessna 28 Quebec, runway 21 right, clear to land, traffic full stop.
clear to land number 2 on 21 right.
This might take us out here away and turn us out this way and let us go that way.
Cherokee 22 Tango, right downwind departure approved.
Right downwind departure approved, 22 Tango.
Okay.
Cherokee 22 Tango Tower will call your turn to the east.
Okay.
22 Tango. Prescott Tower, guys, 22 is 9
But we'll just head
barely off the ground.
Yeah, we'll turn around, do downwind, and then we'll wait till they tell us we can. Yeah, little right rudder for that climb to the right.
2 miles west of the airport. Do you have information?
Again, you're going to go this way next time.
Yeah,
As you can see, you're probably not going to go right over the top of that.
STG, Roger.
When you go to Wickenburg, you're going to have to go one side or the other.
It's manhandling me out here.
Well, if you think this is bad, you wait. If it's windy at Sedona, it's Sedona. It's Sedona. It's Sedona. If it's windy at Sedona, you're gonna really feel a rough landing. But it might not be too bad. But it gets squirrely at Sedona. So
turn right altitude, contact ground point 7.
74, we're unable to make
I'm going to look at this and figure out what your heading was.
74, keep your speed up on the runway, turn left at the end.
46 degrees.
We should have probably double-checked that with that also, because that's something way off.
Yeah.
And we should really be checking that every 15 minutes or so. So
I'm just aligning myself visually with the runway.
yeah, let's go ahead and flip it around to the reciprocal closer to a heading of 030. Again, that if we'd have taken our time, maybe, anytime you get rushed, you forget stuff, and that was one of those times I think we were pushing a little bit. We should have double-checked our DG with our magnetic compass. Anytime you rush, that little red flag should go up in your head and go, oops, slow down. You can come a little bit more to the right, just right there. Just about.
Prescott Tower for 28 Quebec, is there any chance of getting the left runway?
Ooh.
So for 28 Quebec,
Prescott to Victor 12, you figured the heading was 46. Yeah. I rotated you real quick over there. We'll just kind of hold that heading. All we're really going to do now is intercept that.
We were on downwind on the west side of the airport and had been told to stay there until the tower cleared us to turn. It turned out that a long string of instrument approach traffic was blocking our turn, so we just kept going north, out of our way a bit. We'll pick it back up as Larry gives me some tips on using the GPS as well. In actuality, I didn't catch most of what he said until I listened to the recording later, as I was a bit busy flying. Good distraction practice, I guess.
1, I'll have to show you how to do this. Enter. That's what we want. Enter. Now, I just slaved this. I put this on the BOR.
Tango traffic, 1 o'clock, 4 miles opposite direction. Seminole, localizer inbound, 7,800 indicated descending.
We're looking for that traffic, 22 Tango.
You're doing good because we're angling kind of away from
Cherokee 22 Tango Squawk 0331, say altitude.
0331, and we are at 6,300.
Cessna 28 Quebec, turn left Alpha 1, contact ground 121.7.
I'll help you a little bit.
Left and Alpha 1,
3-1, just take your time. And you gave our altitude, so we're doing good. I'm going to put this to 061. We're already on the 61-degree radial, by the way. We're not going to be able to turn on.
Tower, guidance 25.
So we'll just ignore it.
X-ray, request the guidance west departure over guidance hangar.
Basically, we're going to go down that valley you see down there. So if the magnetic heading, and let's see, you figured a heading to...
Cherokee 22 Tango, remain west of the localizer. Contact tower 128.75. They'll call your right turn. Or correction, contact tower 125.3.
125.3, and they'll call the turn 22 Tango.
Okay.
Cessna 49.
Should I say anything to him?
Just say Prescott Tower, 22 Tango's with you.
Prescott Tower, 22 Tango's with you.
Cherokee 22 Tango, Prescott Tower, I have numerous aircraft inbound on straight ins and approaches that are on 2-1 left straight ins. Remain west of the center line until further advised.
Remain west of the center line, 22 Tango.
Okay, but I don't know if we have to go any farther over here.
Okay.
I can't see the airport back there.
Stop and we can take either runway. Trinidad 2 in November, make left close traffic.
They're telling me to stay west of the localizer. That's really helpful for a VFR pilot. Thanks.
Yeah, exactly. Who knows? What we're doing is going up that valley there. They've shot the out of our times here.
Yep.
And we're going to 7,500. I just aim for the peak right there, rather than just continue to go that way.
What is going on here?
Trinidad 2 in November, a minute.
Everybody in the world has decided to come do ILS approaches to Prescott today.
Trinidad 2 in November, you can expect runway 2 and right contact Prescott Tower 128.75.
This continued on for a while. I won't make you listen to all of our waiting or our murmuring as it went on, and we started talking about how easy it would have been to get us over that arriving traffic if they hadn't sent us so far north. Anyway, we finally got our turn, so we'll pick it back up there.
If it gets us out here much farther, we're going to have to call and amend our flight plan.
30 Hotel, thank you. Continue inbound report, Humpty. Keep your speed as high as practical. Say your airspeed now.
We're currently indicating 90 knots right now, and we'll report Humpty. 30 Hotel.
Thank you. Can you increase that at all?
Yeah, we can increase about 10 knots for you. 30 Hotel.
Thank you. System 906 Yankee, maintain 100 knots or less. You're following helicopter 12 o'clock, mile and a half.
We're going to ask them.
Maintain 100 or less for 906 Yankee.
We'll keep it going.
22 Tango, on course approved. Squawk VFR for exchange approved.
Did the right turn approved?
22 Tango. Goodbye.
Oh.
That was for Cherokee 22 Tango, on course. Squawk VFR for exchange approved.
Frequency change approved, on course, 22 Tango.
Guys, 23 Squawk VFR for exchange
Sorry about
approved.
that. I was getting a little impatient with him. That was. He could have alleviated that whole situation. And again, here I'm playing air traffic controller. If he turned us this way and had us go this side of the airport, because he put us on a downwind departure, he really screwed us up there.
Could have put us on a left downwind instead of a right downwind.
Yeah, exactly. We'd avoided this whole problem. We'd have been already around the corner there. But that's okay. We did what they told us to do. Let's see. Your heading was supposed to be.
Helicopter 30 Hotel, verify.
Yeah, I see what you mean. You fold it.
X-ray's been received and held approach
Victor
terminated.
12, you're talking a heading of 75 degrees. We're on a heading of 090, which is fine because we got on
we got to
course.
get back.
Hey, Helicopter 30 Hotel, you want to go missed approach and then...
So just go over this ridge?
...to Universal?
Yes. We're going to just,
Hotel, Roger,
we'll kind of see if we can re-intercept that. If not, we're going to follow your heading of 75 degrees. I'm just going to do this right now rather than follow that VOR course. Is I'm going to put Prescott out for you. And we're going to pilotage our way over there. Again, if you look at your chart, you'll see where you're supposed to go.
First 96 Yankee, press Terra, continue.
Sure, 96 Yankee.
It's going to be a fun landing in Sedona, I can tell you that right now.
56, press Terra, hold short of runway 21 left, landing traffic.
KSEZ, enter.
56, press Terra, hold short of runway 21 left.
And what we'll do is...
We're catching thermals now.
Any other calling, any other aircraft calling press Terra, say
What's
again?
the frequency for Sedona?
The AWAS?
Yeah, let's get AWAS first.
Okay. AWAS is
53, holding short.
118.525.
53, press Terra, hold short of runway 21 left.
Holding short of runway 21 left, 53.
525, okay. Okay.
Altitude 7,700.
No, if you get your chart, as we go around the corner here, I got to get oriented to where you're at here.
Sedona Airport, automated weather observation. 171
go around these hills and
Zulu weather, wind 140 at 7, visibility 10, sky condition, missing temperature 33.
140 though, give you an idea which runway to land at.
Altimeter 30.
Oh yeah, which direction?
7
Gotcha.
Remarks. Density altitude 7,700.
A good ground speed. We still might. We got 15 minutes. We're going to do okay. It
Sedona Airport, automated weather observation.
We'll still be on time.
714 Zulu weather, wind 130 at 7, visibility 10, sky condition, missing temperature 33 Celsius, dew point 16, altimeter 3017. Remarks. Density altitude 7,700.
Lots of up and down in the wind or the air out here.
Yep.
Sedona Airport.
Okay, we got
weather
let's put the
traffic.
Passport out of Quebec, traffic no factor. Frequency change approved.
We'll put Sedona on here.
It's I have it written down, but I'll just look on the chart.
No problem at all.
So 60 Papa traffic
let's see.
higher off your left, no factor.
123.0.
Okay.
And
you
we
can
are all you inbound, 60 Papa.
I'd like to keep it simple on your lap because it gets bumpy and there's all kinds of you got papers that can fly all over the place, really. So that's why it's really important to keep it simple if you can.
Okay.
You only got one chart to look at, maybe one piece of paper with frequencies. We're kind of following this now. We're 22 miles from Sedona. You're going to see some checkpoints as you go around the corner here. If you were on Victor 16, you'd go by that airport.
Right.
And it should run perpendicular to you. And I'm going to give you a heads up right now. You're going to see it if you go by this ridge line. And if it's perpendicular to us, we're heading in the right direction.
Okay.
I think I see Sedona already. I do. I see Sedona, I believe.
Really?
Out there in the haze. Yep, it's only 20 miles away, so we're not very far from it.
But isn't it this direction?
Negatory. Well, let's see. You figured a heading of 75 degrees. We're flying to 100 degrees. And I'll point you right to the airport right now.
Okay.
Airport's right, I believe, right there. You're on a heading of about 80 degrees. You figured a heading of 75. Now, if you'd stayed on that heading, that airport, it should be perpendicular to your course. And I'm just going to push direct to Sedona again here. Direct, enter, enter. Again, as you went out this way, you had to make a right turn to a heading, and you figured a heading of about 75 degrees, right?
Yeah.
We were way off on a heading there. As a matter of fact,
I would have thought we would have intercepted that, though.
We're on a heading of 60 degrees, actually, right now. I think it's right out there, and I got to look a little more closely. I see what looks like.
Shouldn't we eventually get on this radial?
Yeah, eventually. And if you're going in this direction, you should pick it up. It hasn't moved yet, though, has it? So just stay on this heading right here.
Okay.
Again, what you're looking for is reference points now. Like I said, I had one guy go in this direction or that direction, and the airport was not perpendicular to his course. So I said, "Do you think you're heading where you should be heading?" Again, I got to look too. I'm trying to find it out here myself, but I see it's hazy enough out here that it is difficult to see, and it could be right. I see another location. I've been here enough. You think I know right where it's at? That could be right there also. Which is now that we match this up with this, you're on a heading of 75 degrees, aren't you?
Yeah.
And I think I see it there. I saw something that looked like it could have been a little to the left of the nose, but that's not it. Now I think I see it. But at any rate, if you pass this airport on the right, Cottonwood, it should be perpendicular to your course line.
I do see it. Yeah.
I don't know if you see the airport yet.
Yeah, I see it right there.
It's right there. So we're heading kind of, it's not quite perpendicular.
Right. Helicopter entering the corridor at the high school for the southwest.
We can't be perpendicular probably because our course used to take us over there.
Yeah, this is slowly centering up, but
okay.
Again, as you get out here, we're only 17 miles from Sedona, so you're going to have to make announcements. We're going to have to figure out which runway they're using. They said wind was 140. This is runway 3, so we're going to end up landing that way, right? If we're more into the wind at 140. Seems like it's more appropriate to land 140. It's about 60, 70 degrees off on 14, and it's wind is what? What was the wind? 140?
Well, it changed, but the last one we got was 130 at 7.
Yeah, okay. So it's whichever. That's why I start to monitor. I start to listen to the traffic.
We're heading clear to go and doing right now.
That's the wrong one.
We got it on. We'll have to put. I thought I had Sedona down here. No, we don't. Let's go ahead. There you go.
No, that's not it either. I thought we had it.
Yeah, we did. And actually, I think I see the airport out there. Now I do. That's pretty much perpendicular. Of course, you know you're heading in the right direction. You figured a heading of 75 on your chart. And that, I'm telling you, that is very accurate because I see the airport out there.
Sedona Unicom, ramp vehicle is crossing the active runway at Alpha 6. Any traffic in the area, please advise.
Again, if nothing else, if you intercept that radio and follow it too, yeah, it's not in that direction. It's right on the heading you figured, 75. We're heading right towards it. And I'm just sitting here roughly doing some mental arithmetic here. Let's see, 130. It's going to be runway 21.
Traffic, answer 178.
Let's see where he goes.
Upwind 21.
Upwind 21. So now out here is where you got to think, okay, I'm landing this way. It's left downwind. So you're going
I want to enter, and it's left traffic, so
if you got your diagram there, you're thinking to yourself.
It's right here.
Yeah, you're coming from, let's take it off.
Coming from here.
Let's take it out of here and orient it to the direction you're coming from. That's the direction you're coming. Well, let's see, no, 3.
Sedona traffic line 36, taxi into 21 for takeoff.
So there's the airport out there. I see it. You're going to go on this side of the airport and enter left downwind and land this way, correct?
Okay.
That's why. Go ahead.
Should I overfly?
No, at this point, do you see the airport yet? It's 13 miles. I'll point you right at it. It's a little slip of tan that's going this way. Visualize which way it runs in relation to you. It runs this way.
Yeah.
It's right off your nose out there. It's right up. You see
I do see a strip of tan out there, but I can't tell if that's the airport.
Well, that is it. So what we'll do is you're going right for the airport. We could overfly the airport, be above pattern altitude, or you can circle to this side of the airport and maybe enter an extended downwind. This is where you start to plan that out.
Yeah. Well, what do you think?
Well, let's just stay on this heading for a moment. We're still 12 miles out. And what I would say here, by the way, is you want to start letting people know that you're coming. So it'd be Sedona traffic. Cherokee 4122 Tango, 12 to the west. We're planning on a left downwind for 21 Sedona. Now the people know we're out here and they know we're planning a left downwind for 21. So,
okay. Sedona traffic, Cherokee 22 Tango is 12 miles to the southwest. We're planning a left downwind for 21 full stop. Sedona traffic.
Actually, yeah, I think we're to the northwest a little bit, but that's okay. Again, you made the announcement. That's good.
Oh, wait.
Hey, Sedona traffic. Is there anybody in the pattern?
Let's see if we are. Let me see your chart here, so maybe I'm on the same page.
Yeah, we're mostly west.
Mostly west, yeah.
330 Delta Parking Runway 2.
A little bit south, maybe.
Northbound.
Okay, I'm going to put a landing light on when we're within 10 miles. Just a recommendation in the AIM book, by the way. But in this airport, you're going to feel like you're going right towards these cliffs out here, by the way, when you're on the downwind. I had somebody ask that before, but he said, no, it's a left down for this airport. In this position, you're heading a little bit to the right of the airport, and I just stay on this heading, and we'll enter an extended downwind. Now, what we'll do is carefully listen for traffic. If there's some guy taking off this way and turning that way, I want to make sure I stay in touch with him and let him know where I'm at and stay out of his way. And what is our pounding altitude here?
6,000.
Okay, 6,000. We're still 1,500 feet, and that's fine. Again, this, as you can see, this is just planning ahead, thinking ahead. We got the frequency on. We're telling where we're at. Now I start to plan in my head, how do I want to approach the airport? That's the way the airport runs. You can see by looking at your directional gyro. And I think you're going to like this landing. You're going to enjoy this. I was mad again. I keep kicking myself for not keeping my 35mm camera at Chandler, so when I go on these trips, I can take pictures for you.
I've got a camera. You want to take it?
All I've got is a cell phone, but if you got a camera, I'll take a couple pictures for you while you're landing.
Awesome.
Just get your first landing at Sedona by yourself here.
There you go.
Okay, cool. And
turn it on right here.
That's it, and then all I have to do is hit that button, eh? Okay, I'll get some pictures for you on final. Again, we don't hear anybody else talking. We get all our lights on.
I'm still not positive where the runway is. Is it right on top of the hill over there?
Yep, it sure is. It's up on a little plateau there.
But I don't really see much.
That's okay. You will. Again, it's a. Sometimes people will be looking for airports and think it's not there, and you can start getting panicked. Oh, cow, where's the airport? You know about where it should be. You know you're 8 miles right now to the west.
Well, with the GPS, it really makes it easy.
Yeah, that does. And now that you've been here and you know about where it should be, you just keep concentrating on that section of, you don't just sweep your eyes across there. You look carefully, and all of a sudden you start to see buildings. All of a sudden you know which way that runway runs in relation to you, and all of a sudden it stands out.
Sedona traffic, Lancer 6X Radio Echo, taking off, runway 21. Local VFR over the village.
We'll tell them here in a minute that tell them I was 6 to the west, circling for a left downwind.
Right now?
Left downwind on 21, just so he knows we're out here.
Okay. Sedona traffic, Cherokee 22 Tango is 6 miles west. We're going to circle around for a left downwind for 21, full stop, Sedona.
Excellent, excellent, excellent. Now he knows we're here. He might not have heard us before calling out from this direction, so maybe he'll have a heads up here, and we'll keep watching for him. And I'd stay right on this heading. You're right. And then I just did.
We're still descending a bit, right?
That's good. We're only 5 miles out. We want to get down to 6,000. Did you say a little 60?
6,000 for the
6,
traffic pattern.
So we're still a little above pattern.
The field is 1,200 below that. We have a 1,200 foot.
And we're going to do everything the same. It's going to look weird to you on this because you're going to go over a little hill off the end of the runway too. If it gets a little bumpy, we'll keep a little faster approach speed.
We're right in his departure. Where did he say he was going to?
He didn't say. So we're going to stay right here and keep our eyes peeled for him.
We did keep our eyes peeled, but being 5 miles out still, we didn't ever see him. We uneventfully got around to a left downwind, and that's where we'll pick it back up. This area, by the way, is stunningly beautiful. Red soil and mesas jutting out of the ground everywhere, big red cliffs all around, and majestic mountaintops as a backdrop. Spectacular, but I was concentrating on the approach and the landing. Luckily, Larry got some pictures for me, which I'll include in the show notes for this episode at www.studentpilotcast.com.
Sedona traffic, Cherokee 22 Tango's on an extended downwind, descending to pattern altitude, left downwind for 21, full stop, Sedona.
Good. No, I turned it on. I wonder if it automatically shut off.
Probably did.
552 Echo Romeo, 9 miles to the south.
Ooh, I can't see.
Be inbound for a full stop landing, Sedona.
Ooh. Got one picture on it. That's good. Yeah, we'll get down to 6,000 feet. The same procedure as back at Chandler. You see a hill off the end of it. Like I said, if it gets a little bumpy, We'll use a little, people tend to come in here, I think, a little too high, and it's a down-sloping runway.
Okay.
So there's pattern altitude. We're a little bit close to the runway, but as long as you can get turned on base and line up with the center line, you can extend on your just. There you go. Okay, gas undercarriage, mixture, props, seat belts, landing lights on. We enrich the mixture just a touch. Although field elevation here, I think we'll be okay.
Sedona Unicom ramp vehicle is entering the runway at Alpha 8 for runway maintenance. Any traffic in the area, please advise.
Venture 1's at the high school. We're landing on the helipads, and we have you in sight there.
Got you too, thanks a lot.
See, on the
Sedona traffic, Cherokee 22 Tango is on left downwind for 21. We're beam the center of the runway. Sedona traffic.
Okay, yeah, we're kind of close here.
Sedona Unicom, this is Grumman 55 Victor Lima, radio check, over.
I'm going to get a picture on final of it.
Sedona air traffic system 551 Echo Romeo 10
I'll put in 2 notches to get us down.
At
that's
2,400 feet descending. Going to maneuver for a left downwind.
Just keep the speed where it should be. You don't want to get too slow in case it's bumpy. So we'll keep it on 70. If it gets a little bumpy, we'll increase that to 75 just for a little better control of the airplane. Okay.
What do you think?
Yep, let's go ahead and try a turn here.
Radio check, loud and clear.
Snapping all kinds of pictures here.
Thank you.
Not all kinds, but I'll get a picture on final there. Just keep the speed where it should
Take
be.
as many as you want.
Can't quite see what I'm getting here, so.
Is it on?
Yeah, it's
on.
Okay, now we're looking a little high. The VASIs are showing you're high, Pappies. So again, just keep the speed where it should be. We got plenty of room to make it down here. Keep the speed right there. Just like landing back at home, if it gets a little, you got your hand on the throttle, so if it gets a little gusty or get a downwind draft, we got our be ready with the throttle. But so far it feels pretty smooth. Little crosswind from the, oh, beautiful picture here. Oh, excellent, excellent. As long as you do a good job, see, I'll just take pictures. You're doing good. A little bumpy down here. You got to be aware if you ever come up here, once you get your license, it could be really bumpy up here. Nice stable approach, get the nose nice and straight. That's
that ridge line.
Just make it go where you want it to go. That's what I mean about getting squirrely here. Just make it go. Fly that airplane, man. Get that nose nice and straight and roll the wings down like this. Just make it go where you want it to go. It'll go where you tell it, even though it's gusty.
Lost all that speed at the very end.
But see, yeah, you got to get aggressive with it. If it starts to throw you around, don't let it throw you around, man. Get in some rudder, get in some aileron, react to it real quick, and you won't have a problem. Okay, let's just slow till we want the speed we want. We'll make it down to 6.
We'll go to the
That's
next
good.
one.
Yeah, right over that ridgeline. It got really squirrely, didn't it? Yep. 10:31. We're 1 minute off, even after all the screwing around they did with us.
That's amazing.
Better start planning those things better, man. 1 minute off. Xing into the terminal here.
Wow, we made it. Not that I ever had any doubts, of course. Actually, it was a cool flight. It was my first cross-country flight to a non-towered airport. The scenery was beautiful, and we were about to have breakfast. What's not to like? After a delicious bite to eat at the airport restaurant, we did a quick debrief and planning session for the flight back, filed our flight plan back to Chandler, and headed out to the plane. We were taxiing out while 2 other airplanes were in the pattern for landing. We commented on the second guy coming in because he was really high on his approach, but somehow got it down. On my takeoff, about 50 feet in the air, we started getting hammered by bumps and wind, and you can hear me as I have to recover from a sudden 35 or so degree bank I wasn't expecting.
Pretty out there, isn't it?
Sedona traffic,
really is.
5100, entering final, runway 21. Sedona traffic.
We'll just do a run up here. And what you'd want to do if there's more people coming out is gone farther that way, but you're fine for now.
Okay, and we've got.
What we'll do again here, just run it up our full power.
I'll lean it.
And then we'll lean it till it runs rough, until it's smooth, and then 3/8 of an inch more.
Oh, nice V-tail there.
Yeah, she said it's
okay,
smooth.
So right there is smooth.
And about 3/8 of an inch more, just a little bit more. That's good. Let's go ahead and leave it at that. Okay, we won't touch the mixture again.
Sedona traffic 110, turn to final runway 21, Sedona. Okay, so the next part of the before brakes, good, annunciator.
Sedona traffic, Bonanza 15100 off the active runway.
Oh, he's high. There's no way he's making that.
See him, so.
No way. He's going to have to go around.
He might make it. He's pushing the nose down.
He's got a little slip down
He's
now,
got
too.
a lot of runway, but you're right. He was way too high. Take it down, but yeah, he's losing. He'll use half the runway. Okay.
He was 200 feet high when he went over us.
He just landed twice. Just did 3 landings. He did. He landed. He went up.
Did he?
Did again. Then 3 times. He misjudged that. He came in. You're right. Really high.
He was too
Put
fast.
the flaps on. Then he pushed the nose down to lose altitude rather than just kind of keep the power off. Maybe slip it.
Okay, I think we're good.
Sedona traffic 54113. I'll clear the active.
Okay, I'm all set here.
Right. Sedona traffic, Cherokee 4122 Tango is taking runway 21 for a south departure. Sedona.
I'll put 22.3 on here for the flight service station.
Oh, yeah, thanks. I should have done that.
That's all right.
Oh, my window.
That's all right. I don't think our GPS is working. Yeah.
Have to move it around. No, I'm just kidding.
yeah, you're right. That was you and I that we had to move it.
Okay, rotate.
We're off like a dirty shirt here.
Whoa!
Yeah, just control the speed. The pitch where it should be, even though you're bouncing around.
Yep.
It'll bounce you around, but just keep the speed where it should be.
Just wasn't ready for that.
Yeah, this is one of the bumpier rides that you get coming up here, that's for sure. Again, just keep it stable. I know you're going to rock and roll here because we're going to climb up here and then we're going to go out to the left around this outcropping of rock. Again, there it's smoothed down a little bit. We don't need GPS. That was an interesting bumpy ride there coming off that runway.
Yeah.
Pretty up here though.
Sure is.
I just get beyond these outcroppings here and I go right down that little valley there under our heading. And then I'll show you what I look for. So if you come up here again, you'll know. Around, we'll say it's a heading of about, well, again, we're turning from an east or west heading, so let's just keep on turning when we see we're going to have to roll wings level here in a moment to look at her. But just head right down this valley here. Just keep
really?
Going. Yeah,
okay.
Just keep going right in this direction. We're going up to 75, so all we got is another 1,500 feet. And you're right, we got to come to the right here.
That airport?
I'm pretty sure it's out here to the right. There's a flat top right off the nose. Do you see? Not the highest peak, but there's a plateau or something really with a flat top. It's flat, just like this, right off the nose.
Yep.
That's what we're heading toward.
Okay.
That's the proper heading. And if you stay a little to the left of that, we go right, that's the Verde Valley right down through there. And again, your first reference point will be this airport down here that you might go right over. It's hard to see. If your course
we should
go
right
over, you
over.
should see another airport off there.
Up to the right.
It's harder to see. So right now, it's just aim right for that flat top hill.
Oh, okay.
I've done it enough times that I know what heading to fly. But if you didn't, you'd probably want to maintain that 169 heading. Is that what? And you're just about on that. Your headings are working out really good because you said 169.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, that's a good heading. That's heading me right towards what I was going to say. I always use that one. I look for that when I'm coming out of here. You look for the town here. That heading is really good. So that worked out well if this is properly set here, and it looks like it's pretty close. Yeah, this is a little bumpier than the previous rides, although everyone lately has been bumpy.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and call him.
Call him Prescott Radio in the Yuma area, 122.2. So again, your call sign and go ahead.
Calling him from Yuma.
On 1222.
That's why I wondered sometimes if they... I'm going to have to study that.
950 Delta Alpha, this is Prescott Radio, go ahead.
And you really, if you're on course, you're right over that airport. And the other airport's hard to see, and it runs, I don't know how it runs in relation to your course. You'd have to look at your chart. It runs kind of parallel to your course. It's out there somewhere. It's hard to see.
Delta Alpha, Roger, we'll activate
another 1,000 feet to go.
Time now.
Oh, yeah.
04.
It's reading the wrong. We're in a nice thermal, too, and I...
Yeah. Okay, let's go ahead and give them a call and activate our flight plan.
Prescott Radio, Cherokee 4122 Tango.
Cherokee Cherokee 4122 Tango, that's Prescott Radio, go ahead.
We just left Sedona. Would like to activate our flight plan at 12 o'clock local. What is that?
And November 4122 Tango, roger. We've activated your VFR flight plan as of 1900 Zulu. And the current altimeter over Prescott's reported to be 3017. Good day.
Thank you very much. 22 Tango.
Okay, we're on our way. Yeah, we'll want to get to at least to 75. I don't think we're going to get much in the way of downdrafts.
We got a nice thermal right here. So.
Yeah, might as well take advantage of it.
Look at that.
Yeah. Yeah, might as well take it. There's times you want to take advantage of that.
Yep.
Now, I've come back on this cross-country in a Cub and gone to 9,500.
Wow.
Boy, it was cool. Nice flight.
I bet that was nice.
I almost had to close the windows.
That air coming in feels pretty good on my legs.
Yeah. Well, the Cub, you got those big side windows. You can open everything up, and I almost had to close them. I was getting chilly. I don't remember what time of year it was, but it was fairly warm.
So we had a fairly non-eventful flight back toward the Phoenix area. This time we'd be skirting around and under the Class Bravo by heading to the east of Phoenix and coming into the valley over Mesa, then coming around under the Bravo to Chandler. This would give me an entirely different route and different experience and different views. Larry helped me pick my way around peaks and over ridge lines all the way back. He also went over some procedures for diversions, so he quizzed me on what I would do if I had to get it down somewhere right now, for example. It was some good practice. We'll pick it back up as we tune in the tower for Falcon Field in Mesa, which we would be transitioning. It's a quick transition, and you have to thread a needle at one point to avoid the Class Bravo above and Phoenix Mesa Gateway Airport to the south, while between the deltas briefly between Falcon Field and Chandler.
I'm going to go ahead and put you over on Falcon Tower just for the fun of it.
Wow, we just picked up a thermal there, that's for sure.
And I'm going to go ahead.
Looks like he's wings up in a turn and now leveling out.
Affirmative, that's him. He's left base and follow that traffic. You're number 2 for runway 22 left, clear to land, and that's for Stinson 81 Mike.
Now that's Falcon Field.
2.
And I'm going to turn it down. Let's monitor 8 is for Chandler again real quick.
Available on high watch, flight watch, and flight service frequencies. All VFR departures by ground control, direction of flight. Plasma initial contact. You have information, whiskey.
Go whiskey, okay.
Chandler.
That's good. I'm going to put Chandler Tower 2610 for you on this. Probably shouldn't do it. You should get.
I can do it.
Yeah, I'll let you do it. I tend to want to help out, but actually it's physically better probably for you to just.
Okay. We'll just leave it second place there.
Yeah.
In case we need to check the
Falcon Tower, and you got Chandler Tower.
Yeah. And I turn this back up so we can hear Falcon.
Okay, go ahead.
All right. So this little community right here is not really shown.
Okay.
I mean, it's shown, but it doesn't mark it what it is.
Okay.
So we're gonna be headed over to the other side pretty soon.
Go right around the right side of that red mountain there.
This is 774, turn left next taxiway, if able, traffic short final. Taxi to parking monitor ground 121.3.
Monitor ground 774.
Yeah, nice cruise descent though. We picked up a little more airspeed. Look at my watch, see how we're doing as far as the 12 o'clock arrival.
12:41.
Yeah, it's pretty close. I'm showing 18 minutes. It's showing we're only 13 minutes from Falcon, so it'll be close.
All right. Red Mountain should be on here, right?
Well, I've always had a hard time spotting it on the chart.
I do see Fountain Hills.
Let's see.
Fountain Hills is right here.
I think what it is...
Aero 31 Charlie, frequency changes.
I think it just shows a little dot there with the information. Yeah, right there probably.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I just go a little around the right of you. You can just see the edge, I think, of Falcon Field around on the right side of that, and then I go right over the top.
Yeah, I think I see the hangars, right?
I don't know if that's hangars that you see to the right, but there is a patch of lighter brown. And as you go around it, you should be able to see it.
Okay.
Call them whatever you normally call out from Chandler. You can call it 7-8 miles to the north, and transition to Chandler.
Full stop Delta.
Aero 4165 November, Falcon Tower traffic, 12 o'clock, less than a mile, same altitude, opposite direction is an Aero, and they're left downwind, runway 22 left, report downwind.
Aero in sight, left downwind, 22 left, report downwind.
Falcon Tower, 74160 over Apache Junction, inbound for landing with Delta.
74160 Sierra Falcon Tower, enter left base, runway 22 left, report 2 mile left base.
It's going to be
2 miles
easy,
left base for 22 left, 600.
Air 65 November, verify it is Delta.
All right, bounce around too.
From Delta.
That helped us get down.
Yeah, we suddenly got down a lot faster.
So I'll just level off at 3,500 feet, and when we're over Fountain Hills, I'll give them a call for transition.
Okay.
Okay.
Kind of see we're just thinking ahead. Like I said, we already got ATIS for Chandler. That could change. We've got a few minutes to get there, but at least we have the ATIS information from this point, and
I was confused about those lakes. I kept thinking, where's the third one? It's because I was on the wrong river.
Wrong side of the valley there or something?
Yeah, the other three over there, the triplets.
I want to pause for a minute and make a quick comment on that. I'm very familiar with this area from the ground. I've ridden my bike all over this desert, water skied on these lakes multiple times, and generally know it very well. But it's amazing how all of that familiarity goes out the window when you see something for the first time from the air. I've noticed over the past year or so that it's almost like starting over. Sure, you can cross-reference big things that you can see from the ground and from the air, like stadiums and mountains, etc. But for the most part, learning an area from the air is a completely new perspective and a new experience. If you don't fly, trust me on this one. If you do, you know exactly what I mean. This is when I really started to realize this. All right, back to flying.
Stock Tower, 4165 November is down 1 beam.
65 November, your number 1, runway 22 left, clear to land, wind 15010.
Clear to land 22 left, 4165 November.
And then 60 Sierra, amend your instructions, widen out to your right to join a 3-mile final for runway 22 left. Traffic is in arrow, downwind and beam the tower now. And he's number 1.
And a 3-mile final for 22 left, 600. Reducing for traffic 600.
Air 65 November, traffic ahead and to your right at 2,600 inbound for a base at a diamond to follow you.
65 November, looking at that traffic, we're going to make this one a short approach if we're good.
Short approach is approved.
Yeah, to be honest with you, I've got to look for Falcon Field as we come up to Red Mountain here.
Copy the land, short approach approved.
Diamond 60 Sierra, that traffic is at close in left base, making a short approach. You can fly direct to the numbers if able. Wind 160 at 5, your number 2, runway 22 left, clear to land.
And it's important, even if you're probably going to get a little lower, because there is a slice of Bravo airspace at 3,400 right near the airport there, too. If you look carefully on the chart, there is a little sections at 3,400. So.
Okay.
But so if you stay right over the center of the airport, I think you're okay. If you stray a little bit too far that way, you'll hit a little slice of airspace that's 3,400.
Putting in a lot of forward pressure. Jiminy Christmas.
Yeah, just trim it then. Yeah, there you go. We quite a bit of airspeed there.
Yeah.
So that nose wants to come up.
So get down to maybe 3,200?
Yeah, that sounds good for now. Let's try 32. Let's see if I see the field. Almost looks like the field off our nose, but I'm not sure that's it. It could very well could be. I looked a little bit more carefully myself. I think it might be there. Saw the hangars a little before I did there.
It says it's further this way.
Well, actually,
let's just get it direct here.
Let's see what this says.
65 November, turn left, taxi to parking monitor down 121.3.
If you're looking at this and it's the wrong heading, it could be to your left. Straight level unaccelerated, we're on a heading of about 180 right now. So now it's a little to your left. That's it, right, kind of off your nose there.
Direct, enter.
And you could get a moving map.
That's true. Okay.
Yeah, I think you're headed right for it. I'm trying to make it out here too. I do see a patch of ground that looks like it's runs the same way as the runways. 9.5 north.
I can report over Fountain Hills, right?
Yeah, if you want.
Okay.
Sure.
Falcon Tower, Cherokee 4122 Tango's over Fountain Hills, 3,300 feet. We'd like to transition your airspace toward Chandler.
Cherokee 4122 Tango, Falcon Tower, transition Falcon Class Delta airspace at or above 2,700 is approved, altimeter 2988.
All right, at or above 2,700, approved through the airspace. And can you repeat that altimeter setting, please?
Altimeter 2988.
2988, thank you, 22 Tango.
So now we might as well go on down to about 3,000. So he said at or above 2,700. So only reason being is, like I said, once we get south of their field, we might duck down even a little lower. I only do it just to be careful I'm not going to hit 2,700 foot airspace. When I get a chance to get below 2,700 south of Falcon Field, I get down there. That way I'm assured I'm not going to hit it. Out there to the left, about 11 o'clock, a big patch of brown. You can kind of see that's Gateway.
Oh, yeah.
See that. Again, I go right over the center of the field. Here, we're headed, I think, right towards the center. And like you said, we'll use the mile roads and we'll just, or whatever, north-south road. I'll flip you onto the map portion of this, and you'll clearly see where the
Diamond 60 Sierra, turn left when able to exit parking, monitor ground 121.3.
Main left, monitoring ground, 600.
And obviously the best landmark you can get to the south of Falcon is the 60 freeway, is the end of the Delta airspace. So, yeah, we're at 3,000 or somewhere in there. You can level off. Let me go.
Get with 77191 Mike.
Bounce around so much.
Request inbound, full stop.
If you don't mind, I'll just get a picture of you landing back at Chandler too.
Runway 22 left, report 2 mile left base. ATIS Echo is now current at Falcon Field, wind 130 at 8, altimeter 2988.
Don't mind me doing this for you real quick.
Doing what?
I'm going to listen to ATIS again for Chandler.
Oh, okay.
I'll keep the volume down though. I don't want to interfere with you here.
Temperature 40, dew point 7, altimeter 2986.
No, it's changed.
Approaching use, landing and departing, runways 22, left and right. Note multiple obstructions in the vicinity of Chandler Airport up to 310 feet AGL. Hazardous weather information available on high watch, flight watch, or flight service frequencies. Use caution. Bird activity in the vicinity of Chandler Airport. Departures. Advise ground control of your direction of flight. Advise on initial contact. Give information X-ray. Chandler Tower, information X-ray. Time 1947 Zulu. Wind 1707.
X-ray.
Yep. Temperature 40, dew point 7, altimeter 2986. Visual approach in use, landing and departing, runways 22, left and right. Note them.
X-ray, okay, we got that.
In the vicinity of Chandler Airport up to 310 feet.
Doing good. Just bouncing around like crazy.
Yep, I'm trying to keep it at 2800.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, you can more clearly see Gateway over there. So you can see why I go right over the middle, just kind of parallel those mile roads to go directly south. And when I see the 60, I know I'm going to have to start bearing to the right.
Right.
And like I said, once we get beyond this, we're going to go. I'll put the movie map on for you. It'll show you how it's easier to see.
There's the 202.
That's a 202 right there?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
202 freeway there. Boy, that air coming in got hot, didn't it?
Yeah, it sure did. You can feel the temperature go up as we descend into the valley here, can't you?
I almost want to shut it off now, but I need the airflow.
Yeah. It's like, of course, I don't know, Chris, that is a nose-high attitude. I hate to put that level when we're actually nose-high but going down.
Yeah. There was the down column of air right there.
Yeah, right as we got over the field here. Canberra. Boy, I haven't seen one of those in a long time.
A what?
It's called a Canberra. It's an old Air Force reconnaissance jet. Called a Canberra.
Diamond 1 Mike, runway 22 left, clear to land, wind 15010.
Canberra, like it's a B-57 or something.
They didn't ask me to report over the field, right?
I was just thinking, but I don't recall if they said report over or beam. I don't think so. Not that I remember. They're not yelling at us, so.
Yeah. Cherokee 2 Tango, Tango frequency change to Chandler is approved.
Frequency change approved, thank you, 22 Tango.
Again, now when you get here towards the 60, you can just kind of, you can see just Chandler
over.
There.
Yep.
Yeah, and we'll go ahead and put it on. You got it on. This. Let's switch that to that. Now you're on Chandler's frequency. Hope you didn't mind me doing that for you. That put you on 2610. And we are If I could see this, it'd tell us how far out we were. 12 miles out, is that the distance right there?
I can't tell.
That sounds about right.
And just maintain 2600 till we get
just
closer.
2600 all the way to Chandler now. You're coming up to the 60.
Yep.
As you can see here, you don't want to go much farther that way. You'd be in their airspace. Yep. So right here, you can go ahead and turn and head right for Chandler is what I would do.
All right. And we're not going to hit that Class Bravo.
Yeah, and we're below it anyway.
Oh, yeah. Because it was at 27, right?
Yeah, that's why when I get a chance to sneak lower, I go ahead and do that. But you can see from your little airplane, you're going to miss that airspace. I can't read this.
It says 12, but nautical miles.
You know what? It's because we have Falcon on there. Let's go direct. And that's okay. I mainly wanted it for the depiction of the airspace.
60.
HD. Okay, now we are 8 miles from Chandler, so you could probably call them anywhere out here.
Okay.
It says 8 point.
What do I use as a reference?
Just tell them you're 8 to the northeast.
Okay.
Landing with.
I don't hear anybody talking.
Landing with. That's because we're on it.
X-ray.
Nobody flying right now.
Okay. Chandler Tower, Cherokee 4122 Tango is 8 miles northeast, inbound, full stop. We have X-ray.
Cherokee 4122 Tango, Chandler Tower, in a red base, runway 22 right, report a 2 mile right base.
Report a 2 mile right base for 22 right, Cherokee 22 Tango.
Okay, do you see the airport?
Yep.
Command the 69 Alpha, Squawk VFR, proceed on course southbound.
There's the tower.
Command 69 Alpha, Squawk VFR, proceed on course southbound.
Let's see if we're going to make that 1 hour. We're going to be just a touch over. Not enough that we have to worry about it, though. We'll call them when we get in. We'll be 5 minutes over, I think. So I like using that and missing the Delta airspace, because if you get close and you call them, they've yelled at me before and said, you got awful close to the Delta airspace for Gateway there.
Did they say 2 mile?
Yeah.
They said 2 mile, right?
Yeah. I just head out here to a point, a position, visualize a position out there off your nose where you normally turn base to final. Then when you eyeball it, when we get about 2 miles, I'd make a left turn to be flying perpendicular to the runway on a base. Then I'd call 2 mile right base.
Okay.
And does that make sense? I just visually kind of visualize a spot out here where I'd normally be going this way and turn that way. And that's when I'd make my left turn and enter a left base, just like we're doing it, but just doing it from the opposite direction.
Yep.
We'll kind of eyeball the 2 miles, using mile roads here, for example. Or right now, I always figure this figures to the center of the airport. When he says 2 miles, I'm figuring 2 miles from the end of the runway.
Right.
So I usually maybe subtract a mile from that when it's, that's 3 miles. So when it says 3 miles, I would say I'm on a 2 mile right base. Landing light on, strobe light on.
Let me turn the fuel pump on. Switch tanks.
Definitely warmer down here. I'm going to go ahead and take a picture of the airport there as you come in. Can't quite see it there in this, but bumps don't help.
Nope.
Might be getting pictures of stuff you go, what's that a picture of? It's because I'm going like this. Yeah,
we're almost there.
Yeah. Now that says about 3 there, so I'd go ahead and make a left turn and tell them you're on mile right base.
Chandler Tower, Cherokee 4122 Tango's on a 2 mile right base for 22 right.
Cherokee 22 Tango, runway 22 right, cleared to land.
Cleared to land, 22 right, Cherokee 22 Tango.
Okay, excellent. Okay, we're on a base. We just do everything like you normally would. We're a little bit out here, but perfect. That looks really good.
Wind 200 at 14.
Somewhere out here again, you'd normally pull that power back.
Got windy, didn't it?
Yeah, in this case, we're a little farther out, so you pull back to 1700 one notch flat. A little farther out, we'll start slowing down. There you go. That'll stabilize it as I... Oops, did that shut off?
Nope, it looks like it's on.
Sure kind of went away. I was looking through there, and all of a sudden I can't see. I can't help you. I'm taking pictures, so you got to do it good here.
No worries.
Little crosswind here.
Okay, field is made.
Yeah, a little bit of right rudder just to keep the nose straight. Oh, just enough. Okay, keep it going straight. Don't let it drift. Just do what you got to do. There you go. As it settles, you can just gently pull.
Is that a little bit flat?
No, that was okay. Just straight ahead, and then we'll turn. Yeah, there you go. No, you had it under control. That's what you would end up doing. It was a little turbulent, but that's what you do at Sedona. If it's throwing you all around, you just...
Cherokee 2 Tango, contact ground. Have a good day.
Contact ground. Thanks for the help, 22 Tango.
All right, back at Chandler, and the end of my long dual cross-country. It had taken me over the hills and into an amazingly busy airport, and a very sleepy one. Had a great breakfast, some excellent instruction, good experience, and even some great pictures. It was an awesome day. I hope you enjoyed the final 2 legs of this flight. As usual, let me know your thoughts. You can reach me via email at bill@studentpilotcast.com or using the contact link on the website at www.studentpilotcast.com. You can also follow me and get up-to-date news and what I'm doing and so on if you follow me on Twitter. The URL is twitter.com/Bravo India Lima Lima Whiskey India Lima. As I mentioned before, I'll get some of those pictures that Larry took for me up in the show notes for this episode, so take a look if you'd like. So this marked a big milestone in my training. That was my last cross-country required with an instructor. My next cross-countries would be solo. While I was a little nervous about that, I was more excited, and I couldn't wait to try this on my own. I wouldn't have to wait long either. My first solo cross-country over the flatlands down to Tucson was scheduled for 3 days later. This was incredible. I was going places I hadn't been before, and I was doing it over mountains and higher elevation airports, and with wind. I was on top of the world. This flying thing just kept getting better and better. I could almost see it out there on the horizon. I was really going to be a pilot. The music for today's episode is To Be an Angel by the Canadian band Uncle Seth. You can get more information and subscribe to the Student Pilot Cast using iTunes, Zune, or any other podcast aggregator at www.studentpilotcast.com. Remember, any instruction that you hear in this podcast was meant for me and me alone in the situation that we were in at the time. Please do not try to apply anything you see or hear in this episode or any other episode to your own flying. If you have questions about any aspect of your flying, please consult a qualified CFI.